Before we go any further, I want to take a moment to thank every single one of you watching right now. The support you've shown on this channel, especially on the coverage of the Romeeca Meeks case, has been incredible. Every comment, every share, every discussion in the comment section shows that people still care about the truth. And that matters more than you might realize. Because cases like this, they don't stay alive without people who refuse to look away. Many stories disappear once the headlines fade, but not here, not on this channel, and not while all of you continue to demand answers. I've said it before, and I want to say it again very clearly tonight. I will not give up on the Romeeca Meeks case until the truth is fully brought into the light and justice is done, no matter how long it takes, no matter how complicated the story becomes. And tonight, we may be taking another important step in that direction, because what you're about to hear is something that very few people have had the opportunity to listen to. An eyewitness, someone who says they were there, someone who claims they saw part of what happened that night. Their perspective has been discussed quietly in the background of this case, but it hasn't been widely heard by the public until now. In just a moment, you're going to hear directly from this eyewitness in their own words. As always, remember that interviews like this represent the perspective and experience of the person speaking. But when it comes to understanding a case as complex as this one, every voice, every detail, and every memory has the potential to bring us closer to the truth. So listen carefully, because sometimes the smallest detail can change the entire story. Here is the eyewitness interview connected to the Romeeca Meeks case.
I was actually the one at the scene. So I was the one that was yelling out to arrest her, because no, everybody wasn't doing anything. I was actually the one who called the cops first. And I saw them when they were fighting in the beginning, and I was like, this is not right. He was slamming her with the door when she was standing in her door frame, not even close to the female on the other side. So she was literally standing on the other side of the road, and her baby daddy was literally slamming the door on her back. So she went back into her car, came back out, and then this was when the baby daddy walked towards the other baby mama. After this happened, he grabbed her by the waist. She tried to wiggle away from him. Um, her arm was like literally almost getting free, with his arm around her neck this time, because he was holding her by the waist in the beginning, and she wiggled out, you know. Um, After this happened, he had her in the, like, almost looking like a headlock to me on the side, and then the other baby mama stated, "I'm gonna shoot you, bitch. Watch me shoot you, bitch." And he stated, "Oh, she's gonna go get her gun. She's gonna go get her gun. Watch." And after this happened, she ran to the passenger side of her vehicle, grabbed her gun, went around, and when the woman, the mother, you know, who slipped away from him for at least like maybe a good second, as soon as she slipped away, she shot her. And she shot her in the face, on her side, and in her thigh. And I saw him like holding her for a split second. Maybe he was in shock, but after he was in shock, I guess he picked her up, and when she was falling, like a gush of blood fell, you know, like out of her body. And I was like, what the fuck is he doing, you know? Like, I don't know, everybody else sees movies, you know what I mean, and they see put pressure on the wound. You know, why weren't you putting pressure on the wound? Why weren't you caring enough? This supposedly was your first baby mama, because when I was on the bus, I heard him and her screaming, and she was literally saying, she was like, "I just dropped off my fucking baby." What? I just dropped off my fucking baby. Are you guys kidding me? As soon as I got off the 21 bus. And trust me, they got it, you know what I mean? Everything that I literally had to, I wasn't gonna let her die like that. You know, I literally looked into her eyes. That hurt me. You know, she says she dropped her baby off, and you don't know who she is, you know what I mean? And I was like, arrest her. She needs to get arrested, you know what I mean? They weren't even thinking. There was another black female cop who came up, and a Mexican shore cop, and I pointed out, I was like, the guns in her car, the guns in the car. Why wouldn't you give him the gun if supposedly this was, you know, a self defense? You know what I mean? If it was hey, here's the gun, this is what happened. It was no self defense. I swear to you, it did not look like no self defense. It looked like you shot her because you were just angry or something. You know what I mean? And to me, um, when she shot her, it wasn't it. The female that got shot, she wasn't with any gun. She didn't have no weapon, no knives, no nothing. So what was it that frightened you so much? You had to run around your car, go into your passenger seat or whatever the case is, and you reached in to get your gun and shoot this woman, you know? So to me, it was a senseless. They were arguing because she was pulling up and I guess they ended up parking. Why was her car parked on the sidewalk? Because I seen she ran towards the sidewalk to get her gun, and it was a small black vehicle, and he had a black truck, I think, and literally he came out of his truck looking like real, like he wasn't like on anything but being like mischievous, like nothing but like what was like he was planning something, you know what I mean? And I called the cops on the first time I called the cops, it was because he was attacking her, you know, and the other girl was just yelling at her and she was arguing back. So there was nothing going on for her to be like, oh, I'm gonna step back over here to go get my gun, you know. She was nowhere near her. But that's all I gotta say. And I know for a fact that she did get arrested, but he got let go. So hopefully, you know, for what I said and what I witnessed, I just don't want to be, you know, put on the stand or anything to say. I did put a statement in because I know it's necessary. You know, it was a ridiculous, you know, I'm a mom too. I wouldn't want my baby to hear like that, you know, and I wouldn't want me to be laying in the ground. She's a sister, you know, she's a mother, she's a daughter, she's somebody to everybody. She's a friend, you know, and that was bogus to just stand there and look at her like she was nothing, you know. To me, I was literally so mad. My boyfriend was also really mad. He was yelling at them. I don't know if you noticed. He was there too, and I was on the phone with him while this was happening. I would call back at him, and he was like, "What's going on?" I was like, "Please hurry," and I even had him run that way. I was like, "You need to run that way to go see if he's okay. Go see if everything's okay. What's going on over there? What's going on? Is she laying in the go see if she's okay, you know?" And it's just senseless that I felt like I had to go send my boyfriend over there because he was just standing over her like, you know, like I don't know. But I'm so sorry. Thank you so much for letting me
Oh,
speak.
no, I just want to say, witness, I want to give you a hug and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for speaking up and being a hero and having the anointing of God on you to have that courage to speak and have that faith to call out demons in front of them and how they are, because so many people will be so afraid to speak out, but not you. And I'm thankful that you have come up here and you have told the truth. You have put truth, to power, and we need more people like you. We really, really do. And I just want to say thank you so much. Now, now you said that Carlos, because that is the baby daddy, his name is Carlos Way. Now he was putting hands on Meeks. That's the woman that passed away. She's a chocolate girl, the first baby mom. You said when you first saw they were arguing, Carlos and Miss Meeks, was they at her car?
Yeah, they were by Miss Meek's car. Miss Meeks was standing in her door frame, and Carlos had the driver's side door, and he was slamming the door into her to where she
No
was like
way.
jerking herself. Yes.
Oh my God, he's a demon. And he did it in front of the kids, in front of the public. Can you imagine what he does behind closed doors?
Trust me, that's why I called the cops right away because it looked like to me it was like a domestic violence, and
And it
it,
was. It was.
I
Anytime you
just
got a big man like that, do you see the muscles on this dude? And she ain't
yeah,
nothing
he
but
was
a buck
huge.
50. She ain't nothing but a buck 50. And he's
Yeah,
slamming that door, using a door as a weapon to harm her. And you got this other girl just looking, and what was she doing at the time?
she was standing by her trunk of her car, and she was arguing with Miss Meeks um about being there, I guess, and That's when I heard Miss Meeks yell out, "I just dropped off my fucking kid. Are you kidding me?" Like she was like, "What the fuck's wrong with you guys?" Like it was a different, like, argument. Like it wasn't even like she was arguing with her, you know what I mean? Yeah, she did get back out of her car, but it was because the other woman was antagonizing her, and she was acting like she wanted her to come out the car. So then she came out of the car, and I don't think she expected to get shot. No one ever like expects to get shot, you know what I mean? But to me, I felt like what I seen, it was unnecessary, and to the point
No,
where,
it was.
it was senseless. And I don't know what came over her to even think to go get her gun. You know what I mean? Like I thought they gave people training for that.
Did you know earlier this year, that same girl, the second baby mama that got the gun, she was writing to Miss Meekson online earlier this year in January. She said it's time to KMFers. So they said they already had this plan that the second baby mama was already had in her heart that she wanted to end the first baby mama life.
Mm. Yeah, I didn't know that actually. I just from what I literally I haven't been online or anything, and I haven't been looking up, but I went on YouTube and I saw your thing, and you were saying to tell the truth, so I figured I'd come on to
And
let
I'm
it off my
glad you
chest.
did. Thank you so much. I'm glad you did. So afterwards, so he's slamming the car on her. So did eventually she get inside the car to get back out?
Yeah, because he was slamming it so hard. I feel like she was just trying to, like, kind of get away from him. So
Got it.
then she went back in.
So she went back in the car. So I would think, okay, this is the end of it, right? But it's not
Yeah,
the end of it.
no, because the girl literally ran from the side of the sidewalk and then went in front of her car, and Miss Meek's car, and started like yelling stuff out. That's where I actually got off the bus, and then I started getting close, and then like just to hear what was going on. And it started getting hectic. And then at that point, I was already telling the cops they needed to hurry to come and get the situation handled, because they were in the middle of the street arguing, and I was like, he literally was slamming the door on her, on her back, like, please help. So,
Yeah,
and then
I'm
after,
glad
she
you
ran to the
did.
side. So
I'm glad you did. So after that, she got in the car, and then homegirl, Miss Johnson, Holly Johnson, that's her name. The second baby mama, the killer, is Holly Johnson. Holly Johnson gonna go in front of the car and yelling and trying to provoke her. And is that when Miss Meek said, "Girl, I just got finished dropping my kids off. What are y'all doing?"
no, she was yelling that over the hood, right? But when she came out of the car, she said, "What?" Like, she was like, "What, bitch? Like, you keep coming up to my car. What's up?" Because she kept coming up to her car, and like every time she would go back into her car, she was like, trying to get her out of the car. So then that's what it to me. It seemed like the only reason why she came out of the car was because the other woman, oh well, Miss Johnson was like antagonizing
Provoking
her.
her, provoking her.
Yeah,
And while she's provoking her, what is Carlos doing? Is he telling
he's
Holly, "Sit your ass down, get back, girl"? What is he doing?
he was just standing there looking.
Not saying nothing, like, "Okay, Holly, do what you got to do. This is what we plan to do, Holly. Go ahead, take care of that." Hmm.
Well, I just seen him looking, like he was just looking, and to me, I didn't know what his plans were, what the plans were with between each other. To me, what I seen, what I witnessed is, that he was standing right next to her, and he didn't say anything, but they were arguing. And then once Miss Meeks walked up to Carlos, uh Miss Johnson ran to the sidewalk, and then Carlos snatched her up by the waist, and then she was wiggling out, like, almost. And then when she almost wiggled out, he had her by the neck, because she was like wiggling down, you know.
Hmm.
And
So, do you
when
think
she
at that time when he had her by the waist and then she was getting out, then he grabbed her by the neck with them big old arms? Do you think at that moment she knew that this was a setup? They're trying to take my life away.
um I honestly, I just seen that when she got out of the like got out of it, like she was literally going the other way. She wasn't going towards her, you know? So
Mm,
it just looked like she was trying to get away, you know, at this point. She was scared, you know, and I seen like she was scared. Like it was a different like, you know, when you see somebody's movement and you could just tell like run to, you know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Uh, that's what I seen, you know,
mm,
and when she like there was no reason for like Carlos had her already, you know what I mean? There was no reason for her to go get her gun, you know. It was unnecessary, I think, but
it was unnecessary. It's ain't Holly life was not in danger. Nobody was trying to take Holly out of here. And you said
and she
that
didn't have anything.
Holly and Carlos, they came in separate cars.
Yeah, they did. Holly's car was already parked, right? Holly came out of the parked car, and Miss Carlos was in a black truck vehicle. I think it was a Mercedes, and she and Miss Meeks was in the white car. So she was already like I think she had well she just said and she yelled that out that she was just dropping off her kid like what's going on, you know? And
Mm-hmm.
so to me it looked like you know like it looked weird. You know what I mean? Cuz I was telling the police that she had her baby inside her car, you know? So I was like, that's her baby. The baby's in the car. You know, I was like, you need to arrest her. Like, what? Why aren't you guys arresting her? And then she was all like, oh, and by the way, I don't know if anybody caught the video or anything, but Carlos goes up to Holly and fist bumps her and says,
What?
yeah, it was what was it? It was self defense, right? It was self defense. And she's like, yeah, it was self defense.
Not fish bump. That's disgusting. After
Yes.
she is dead, they fish bumped each other.
Yeah, and he goes up to her, and they were both said they looked at each other and it was self defense, right? He was like, yeah, it was self defense.
Mm, 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 mm. Why did they have two different cars there to meet her?
I'm actually not sure. I didn't, you know, I just witnessed what I witnessed, and you
Yeah,
know,
that's just awkward to have
but
two
there was plenty
cars.
of people on there, plenty of people on the sidewalk that they were shouting out to arrest her and everything, and the cops did, at least they did, you know, did their job, and they did, you know, what they had to do because, you know, it wasn't for them, she wouldn't be like in handcuffs right now. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And
How was Holly response to you all when you guys were saying arrest her? What was her? Did she look at you guys?
what's it called? She called me a snitch, and then I said I don't care, I'm gonna sign complaints. And then what's it called? She was frustrated and she was saying she was like, I have a concealed and carry, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. You shot somebody, you know what I mean? And the other girl was like, yeah, the gun's in the car, and I was like, bro, I've been said the gun's in the car. It's in the passenger side. You guys just you just stashed it for what? What you stashed it for? If you was like a self defense, then why the fuck did you just like why didn't you just hand them the gun? You know what I mean? But she didn't hand them the gun. She hid the gun. You know what I mean? So to me, I was like, bro, what was this? Like, what was this right now? And
Hmm.
the cops were like, they were like, who was it? Who was? I was like, her, arrest her, and they arrested her.
Good,
Yeah.
good. And
And the crazy
what
part
was
is
her, huh?
she had blood all over her because you know, I was like, I would assume they would have arrested her. You know what I mean?
Hmm. But she was trying to get away with that self defense and two people on one, but they so dumb. They did it in front of everybody, just so reckless and careless.
Yeah.
So when she got locked up, did she say anything to y'all? Did she look at y'all funny?
Yeah, when she was walking away, she looked at me and looked at what's it called? My boyfriend, and she got like she was like, whatever, y'all fucked up for this shit. It was self defense. It was self defense. I got a restraining order on her.
What?
Yeah. So I was just like, it doesn't matter. Like you shot someone, you didn't even like you think to be like, hey, you know, like let me like rethink this, you know, not why would you pull out a gun? You know what I mean?
And how
But
you have a restraining order, but you coming up to her school? You don't got no
and
kids to go
yeah,
there, you dummy. You don't got no kids to go there. That's just a lie. She ain't nothing but a liar. Holly, you a liar. You are sick, Holly. Because Miss Meeks got a restraining order out on homeboy Carlos. That's a restraining order.
Mm. So she probably got a restraining order because of like out of spite then
I
probably.
think she lying. She don't got no damn restraining order. You can't trust a snake. I'm gonna need to see them papers. Holly Johnson is a liar. She's a snake, and she is an agent of Satan. That's what she is. Okay. Now, Mr. Man, what's his name? Carlos. What was his response when Holly got arrested? How was he
He
looking?
he turned away and he ran to his car. He wasn't even like paying attention to Miss Meeks or anything at all. And
Wow.
by that time, my boyfriend started telling him like, "Don't you feel remorse? Don't you feel bogus? Like you didn't do anything. You just stood there. Like you didn't even say anything to him." Like to like support her, like back her up. He was like, "Isn't that your first love? Didn't you have a baby with her, bro? Like she just dropped off her kid. Are you kidding me? Like you're a coward. You're a coward." And then he looked like his like it wasn't him being like sad or like anything. He was like it looked like he was mad about something because of like his ego was hurt, you know. So he like tried to run at us, like me and my guy,
What?
and he was trying to like act like he was gonna fight us. And that's when the cop came in between us. And then one of the cops was like, leave the scene, leave the scene. And I was like, well, I need to put my statement in. And they're like, well, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna put my statement in. And then Carlos walked away when he was like giving me a look, you know. But my guy was literally standing there too, like, what the hell, you know? But at the same time, um, he didn't get to see most of it. I did, you know. So
Right. But I'm
he
glad
wasn't
your
really able to do
husband
it.
or your boyfriend stood up. He's a real man. He ain't afraid of no coward like Carlos beating on women.
Yeah.
Good for your boyfriend. I'm so happy that your boyfriend stood up to Satan himself. I'm so happy and thankful. I'm glad he
Yeah.
didn't coward.
I appreciate that. And I know that he was doing it out of, the goodness of his heart because I honestly was crying and I was like, babe, please go and help her. Like I was like, I don't know like what made her do that right now. And he was like, what's wrong? And I was like, please go save her. Please go save her. I don't want her to die. And I like started crying because I was like, looking at her and I like started freaking out because I just, the scene, everything, it was just like horrific. I was like so like in shock, I guess you would say.
It's a horrific scene to freak out to. I mean, hello, this is outrageous. Yes, this is
So
nonsense. This is demonic. This is hell on earth. Literally.
literally, and I just felt like everybody's reaction, her reaction, everything, it made it seem like nobody cared, and I was like with tears in my eyes, arrest her. I was like, I don't know what else I need to do. I will sign complaints. I don't know what else you need me to do. You need to arrest her. Like I felt so much like rage because no one was like understanding what calmness and how like how cruel they could be just standing there, him without tears in his eyes and her just standing there like if she's like she had the right to take somebody's life, she had the right to snatch somebody from this earth, you know what I mean? Like and to think to be like let me look at her and tell her like everything's gonna be okay. He didn't even do that, you know what I mean? He literally like looked at her, stood there and didn't do anything. Like his face was like, when somebody dies and you love them, and even though you might have a little like hate or whatever case is, you still have that heart in you. It should have hurt, there should have been at least a tear in your eye, and
He's
there was not one.
he's a demon. That's why. He have gotten bodies before. They both probably on that time where they got bodies before. This is not their first kill. Okay, they're used to this. This is what they do. This is
Yeah.
what they do. And that's
I
why
just
Trump is coming to Chicago now. Go ahead.
I just that's pretty much it. But that's all I gotta really say, and I really do thank you for letting me speak out and telling, the truth about what I seen and what I heard and everything. I just
No,
hope
we
that,
thank you. We thank you. We
everything
need
goes
more
good.
people like you and your boyfriend. We thank you because without people that have the courage to speak out, where would we be in this world? Ran with demons. We need more people like you and your boyfriend to speak out and to call it like it is and to speak truth to power and to rebuke Satan when you see him right in front of your face because Satan gotten so bold, just right in front of the kids. Can you imagine what that's going to do to the kids? And you said that Holly had her baby in her back seat. This is a whole mother here.
Yeah. And
And
it looked
she,
like a baby, you know? So,
yeah. And she got all that energy. And then to hide the gun, and they were planning to get away with it. They were planning to get away with it. So thank God it's people like you. You are angel sent. You are definitely angel sent. God was using you to be a witness, to speak truth to power. Because if we don't have people like y'all, then we are lost. We are truly lost as a nation, you know? And I'm
yeah.
sure her family appreciates you speaking out too.
Well, I just hope that, you know, they find grievance and that no matter what it is, that they come out stronger, you know, and I hope that, you know, whatever I did or what I could do, you know, for them, like, I hope everything goes well, you know, and I hope that they give that baby as much as love as, you know, he deserves, because it was senseless for somebody to take his mommy, you know, and that was the last thing that he ever seen, I guess, you know, so.
Yeah. Do you feel like the police failed them because they said she already had a restraining order? What else could she do? You got a restraining order against this guy. He's just still obsessed, and now he's popping up at the school because they say he didn't know where she lived.
Yeah. You know what I feel like? I feel like when I seen everybody, you know, at first it looked like Carlos and her were talking like fine. But then the other well, Miss Johnson popped up out of nowhere and started arguing too. You
Oh,
know.
so Holly came last. Holly Johnson
Uh-huh.
came last. She done popped up.
Yeah.
Was she
And
like she
so
did he call her to there because the cousin spoke and cousin was like you call, she didn't say call, but almost as if it could have been interpreted like you supposed to be working at the gym and then you didn't have her come up there. So but you don't know that. I was gonna say, how did Holly know to come up there? And why
no,
would
I
Holly
wouldn't
go to
know.
there if you got what she got, a restraining order towards the girl? Then you know why you been around her then. Liar. She don't got no damn restraining order. That girl ain't do shit to her. That girl don't even want to see her.
Yeah, cause all I know was she was yelling out that she dropped off her baby. But I honestly do feel like the cops did their job, you know, because at the end when but my thing is they did do the backtrack and they got my story, you know,
Right.
because everything was too crazy on the scene. They were all trying to like calm everybody down, and you know we were all screaming our heads off, you know what I mean, and it was like a huge scene. There was a lot of people around us, and one person even said like, oh, don't even give him your number, don't even give him nothing, why would you snitch, why would you snitch? And it was like,
What?
it's not
That don't
snitching,
make
you know.
sense to me. Somebody
See, I'm not a
died.
bystander.
Somebody
Yeah.
said, why would you snitch on a murder?
Yeah, so to
If
me I was like,
if I would have
that's not, I'm not a bystander.
if I would have took their mama out, then they gonna have that same feeling. Probably so, because they probably hate their mama because they on demon time, child. They hate their mama, they hate their daddy, they hate life itself. They just a death. How could you? Don't snitch, don't tell. What is wrong with you?
And I was like, I'm not a bystander. I'm not a bystander. I don't do that shit. I don't do that shit. Like, I'm not gonna have somebody just die right there and no one's gonna say anything. I was like, no one's helping her. I was like, she don't got nobody. He's over here all kissing her ass. I was like, I'm not doing that shit. I was like, what the fuck? Who was gonna speak up for her? And I was like in the crowd literally yelling at everybody because I was like this is not cool. Like, I don't know why everybody, and to think that even somebody from the crowd went up to him to shake up with him, you know, and then when she
Shake
shook up
up.
with
What do
him,
you mean shake up? Like shake hands?
yeah, and she got blood on him, on her, you know, she got blood on her hand because he came up to shake up with her, you know.
Why would
So it
okay,
was
I'm
like
lost. Why is he shaking somebody's hand and why somebody shaking his hand?
after he literally like was, you know, I'm not just like I'm just so I was like, what the hell, like what's going on, like, and the girl was like, you got blood on my hand, bro, but like you still went up to him to say what's up, you know what I mean? So to me, I was just like, what's going on, you know what I mean? But
Right.
I
That's
just
weird as hell.
yeah, so I just but
Did they not see everything that happened?
I'm not sure, but all I know is that what I seen was it was looking kind of funny. You know, it was looking kind of weird. I was like, no one's gonna say anything. He's over here not even trying to tell nobody nothing. Besides that, what's it called? She was being like rude. She was being crazy, and that it was a self defense. It was a self defense. But from what I saw, it was not no self defense. You know, she was nowhere near you. Like she was nowhere near you at all, like whatsoever. She had nothing in her hands. She didn't have no gun. She didn't have no knife. She had her bare hands. You know, she said she was like, what? You want to keep acting like you come up to my car, bitch? Out, like what? I could beat your
What?
ass, like what, bitch? And she went to go get a gun. You know what I mean? Like that was senseless. Like I thought, like we were, better than this. Like I thought we were grown. You know what I mean? Like where were you scared for your life to where you went to go get a gun? You know what I mean? Like you already talking shit to her in front of her car and you were telling her all kinds of shit for her to come out her car to tell you like what? You were saying you were gonna beat my ass, so come back over here, you know? Come beat my ass then, but then you wanna be like, nah, bitch, I'ma shoot you. I'ma shoot you. Carlos says, yeah, she's gonna go get her gun, she's gonna go get her gun, she'll shoot you. And boom, she gets shot because it was almost like I don't know, it looked like a movie to me. You know what I mean? It was so like I was so in shock to the point where I was like, is this even happening? You know?
Mm-hmm. How many gunshots did you hear? Because I heard 4 rounds.
Yeah, I heard 5 rounds actually.
Wow.
Yeah. And the only reason the cop was on scene and he was unloading the gun and he was like, it froze, it froze. So the only reason why she stopped was because the gun got stuck. Otherwise, it probably would have like she probably would have still kept shooting.
Why would she continue to shoot? How did you feel? And I'm sorry, and I haven't said this, and I just want to say I'm sorry that you had to witness that. You know, this has traumatized you, and you never gonna forget this moment. And I'm sorry that you had to bear witness, but you are strong and you have the strength. So God did not make no mistakes. So I want to know, how did you feel when you heard those shots?
I felt scared. I was literally screaming my head off. I was like when I was witnessing it, I was close by the smoothie shop right there, and I ran back into the green line and I started telling everybody to stay in there because I didn't want anybody to get hurt. That they're shooting. She still has the gun while I'm on the phone with the cops. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crazy because to the point where I was just like so scared to leave. There was little kids coming off the train, going to school, you know what I mean? And it was like, I was like, I don't know what else to do. Like, this is ridiculous. You know what I mean? What just went down? I was like so in shock. Like, how did that just happen? Like from an argument, from like, like fighting with nothing, not like bare hands, you went from that to a gun, like, and she's just as like I think she was smaller than her, like I was just like, what's going on? Like I thought he had her in a like almost a headlock looking. I was like, this is like over like excessive, and I kept saying that. I was like, this was excessive. I feel like this was too much. Like you guys did too much. He was like, nah, nah, nah. And he literally came up to me. He's like, shut the fuck up, you snitch bitch. And he went up to my guy and he was talking about calm down, calm down. What's it called? Shut up already. Shut up already. No one wants to hear it. Cause he didn't want nobody to hear what we were saying, cause we like literally saw like my guy saw the last part, and I saw like everything. You know, I was like, this is so sad. Like, and like I watched her collapse, and I saw like I was like, why wouldn't you go to her, like, you know, to hold her, to tell her like, you know, like, why wouldn't you do anything, you know? But I just, I don't know. It was just crazy to me, and I you know I hope that, you know, me saying this is like, this is helping out, like, kind
It
of what
is.
everybody's been
It
doing.
is. Because we are at a battle and we need more soldiers like you. When I tell you that we are suffocated with demons and demonic forces like this, so you give us hope, girl. You give us hope to know if we are charged by a demon, whether it's our husband, our boyfriend, whoever, it might be someone like you God has sent to bear witness. You give us hope to know that other people in this world still have a heart. They still have courage because there's so many cowards. So you give us hope. You are doing
Thank you.
God's work.
Thank you. But that's pretty much all I have to say. And thank you for letting me talk. And I hope the rest of this video and whatever you have to say, you know, speaks the truth and allows everybody to understand what happened. You know, because I want everybody to know that she didn't have anything in her hands. She was, you know, defenseless herself towards somebody that had a gun, you know, and it didn't go down. I don't think she didn't think it was going to go down like this, because she would have never got out of her car. I really don't think she would have if she saw the gun, you know. She just dropped off her kid. So, but
And
thank
let me
you.
make this clear too. She got out the car because Holly Johnson got in front of her car doing all that yelling and provoking her. Yeah, you gonna whip my ass. Come on. You said you was gonna whip my ass. Come on out. Come on out. So she gets out, and then that's when you said Carlos was grabbing her by the waist. Then Carlos grabbed her by the neck or had her on her chokehold. So therefore, homegirl Miss Meeks is not a threat. She can't do nothing. And that's when Holly Johnson go around and get the gun and come back and shoot her for 5 rounds, they say, while this big man got her in the choke head.
She actually like somehow squeezed out of his chokehold, right? And when she squeezed out, that's when the girl, the Miss Johnson, shot her.
Mm. Was the girl charging her? Was Mix Meeks charging her after the chokehold?
No, she wasn't. She was. It looked like she was walking the other way, like she was
Oh,
going
okay.
around her car. Yeah.
She was walking the other way. So did she shot her in the back, or how did she get in the face if she was walking the other way?
She shot her like it looked like almost like near her, like her side of her face, you know, like she got shot almost by her chin, I feel like, and then her thigh, and then her side.
Mm-hmm. Because maybe, reflex, you're going to look back to see what's going on.
And when I saw her fall, like, and you know, I saw the blood splatting from her face, you know. So to me, that's why I was like, you guys need to come fast. Like this needs to, like, you know, I was just, it was so like, it was so crazy. But